Yo, what is up, you guys? This is Boss Boy, the WinKing here, and welcome to Boss Reviews, where we talk about movies, video games, and whatever heck I want to talk about. And today we are doing a movie review, and the movie that we're gonna review is Power Rangers, 2017. Yeah, Power Rangers. No title or anything, just Power Rangers, simple. And yeah, going into this movie, I wasn't really like expecting a whole lot, and it's like, and parts of me were saying, "Oh, this movie's gonna be horrible. It's not gonna stay true to original source material. Oh my gosh!" And another part of me was saying, "Oh yeah, this movie's gonna be good since there's good actors in there and Rhea Repulsa it looks so cool, man, this movie gonna be great, yeah. Plus I like Krispy Kreme donuts. And so after I watched the movie, I got out there thinking, like, it's in between. It's both for me, it's both good and bad, which I gotta say, this movie, in my opinion, is pretty bull. Nah, but seriously, this movie is actually pretty okay. Like, it's not the best either, and it's definitely not the worst. Yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, it's definitely. The plot of this movie is basically five teenagers who are struggling with their daily lives, and and then with their lives, like, they end up being in this mountain, like, just screwing around, and then all of a sudden one of them was doing a bomb experiment to a mountain, and then when they explode the mountain, they actually they find this, like, solid crystal like wall, and then one of them ends up breaking the crystal, and then they find these coins, these morphin coins that give them, like, special powers. And then after and then after they get their powers, they start using them like without anyone seeing them. And the powers they do is just and the powers they get is basically super strength, super speed, super jump, and probably super skeleton. Like, and I say super skeleton because there's this one scene where the character Billy, that is the Blue Ranger, who was just opening his locker, and then later a bully would come over and then plan to use his head to hit his head, and then after doing that, oh, I'm sorry. And after doing that, he like the bully ends up knocking himself out. Oh, when that scene came up, I was laughing as so much. Wow. But then after that, they find this cave where they find a robot named Alpha 5, and then a and then a project and then like some hologram named Zorion, that basically like that they're basically trying, like, that they're basically there to warn everyone about Rhea Repulsa coming to Earth and destroying the whole world and stuff. And basically that's the whole plot that you're gonna get, because I can go on whatever and ever, because I don't know, it's just me. And now there's some things that I want to say about the plot. First of all, like, the thing that I have, like, an itty bitty problem with this is basically that in the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TV show, like, all five of the teenagers were friends before they became Power Rangers, and they would always hang out with each other. But in this movie, like, they barely know each other, and basically the whole movie is just an origin movie. It's not just that, oh, five teenagers, and then 30 minutes into the movie, oh, they're Power Rangers. No, like, this movie actually takes its time to get the characters developed, and that's one of the things that I actually like about this movie. Have all five of the characters developed and show why they are that color of the Power Ranger. And yeah, that's one thing I like about the plot. But and now one thing, there's a couple things that I like about this movie in general. First of all, the acting, like the actors, like did a great job on portraying their roles, and including the Blue Ranger. He was basically the best, like the worst part to start off with, and and then later, just and then later starts to progress and gets a little better, and probably be the one thing that saves this movie from being bad. And also the other things that I like about the acting is how Alpha 5 and Zordon were portrayed were voice acted. Did a great job, but in some cases Alpha 5's look didn't impress me at all. I'm sorry, but it didn't impress me. It's because I'm more used to the Alpha 5 that was in the Power Rangers movie, and yeah. Another thing I like about the movie is how they made the villain Rita Repulsa, played by Elizabeth Banks, and that I like how they made the character more evilness. Plus, she is scary. Rita Repulsa is scary in the movie, to be honest, because there's this one scene where Zordon is showing the Rangers like who Rita Repulsa is, and then Rita Repulsa gets like so close to the Rangers to the point where the Rangers were like, oh my gosh, and it kind of like scared me, and I was like, oh my gosh. But that's the thing I like about the villain, is that how scary she is, and how like she became more evil, and how more evil than ever than the Rita Repulsa in the original Power Rangers, who was evil, but in this one she's more evil than the original. And then last thing, or probably last thing, because I have like a lot of good things about the movie, good things to say about the movie, and a lot of bad things to say about the movie, is how the movie opened up. And basically the movie opened up with millions of years ago that the Rangers were fighting against Rita Repulsa, and how they were defeated. And I was like, wow, they are really going back, like they are really going backwards with this movie, and try to develop more. And I was like, wow, this is how it's really gonna start. And yeah, that's basically the three things I like: the acting, the villain, and the opening. Oh yeah, and also the Megazord in this movie is pretty cool, and it's pretty cool looking. They did a great job of making the Megazord look cool, and it's probably one of the other best parts of the movie is basically the final fight between the Megazord and the golden monster that Rita Repulsa made. And yeah, and we got the good parts out of the way. Now let's get into the bad parts about this movie. First of all, the 360 camera angle of, like, yes, there is a lot of scenes where the camera goes whoa, whoa. Yeah, there's basically, and wow, I'm feeling a little dizzy right now. Yeah, there's basically a lot of those in the movie, like the part where, oh gosh, I'm so dizzy, to be honest. Like the part where like on the second half of the beginning, where all the Rangers were in this van, where actually not in the begin in the scene after the opening scene, it shows Jason Scott, who is the Red Ranger, trying to steal a cow, and then later gets into a car, and then riding the car is so like circle, and then later when he crashes, it gets on more circle and circles to the point where, oh my gosh, this movie's about to give me a headache. I already hate it already. And then it's not just that; it's also when all the Rangers were running away from the cops, and then they see their coins being floated up, and then after that they later get hit by a train, which kind of shocked me. I was like, oh my gosh, wow. That's the first thing I hate about it, is 360 camera, like just circling around. Another thing I didn't like about the movie was just of how they put Krispy Kreme, yes, Krispy Kreme, the donut shop, in your face. There is so much Krispy Kreme in the movie. There one scene, like the first time Krispy Kreme came up was in the scene where the Pink Ranger and the Yellow Ranger were in a donut shop, and then there's the last piece of the donut, and then they were fighting over it, in which I was like, are they ripping off the scene from Kung Fu Panda? And then another part of Krispy Kreme is another part of Krispy Kreme is basically when the Blue Ranger was telling Rita Repulsa where the crystal is. It's in Krispy Kreme, and then later in the movie they show Rita Repulsa trying out some donuts. I was like, what the heck? Yeah, it's too much Krispy Kreme in your face, to the point where after the movie I was like, man, I want some Krispy Kreme. Oh gosh, maybe that was the point of the movie, but yeah. And then lastly, now the last thing I didn't like about the movie was basically of how it tried to save the day. And oh wait, no, it's not that. Oh yeah, it's basically ruining the theme song. Almost ruining the theme song of the Power Rangers TV show. And I felt like, why did they have to make a heavy metal rock cover of the Power Rangers theme song from the original TV show in the 90s? Why? Just why? So that they could fit in the tone with the movie? Probably, since the whole movie's basically like a mix between funniness and serious, and it's not like in a Captain America Civil War way. No, it's basically kind of like a Suicide Squad way mixed with some Dark Knight, like trying to be Dark Knight way into the movie, I'm guessing. But yeah, but overall the movie was pretty okay, and if any of y'all are a really huge fan of the movie, I would recommend going there, and I would recommend going there and spending your money on it, and it's worth it. It's for anyone who loves Power Rangers, and even I do, to be honest. And even I was dressed as a Power Ranger when I was like 10 years old, like for Halloween. And yeah, so yeah, overall I am feeling kind of like a 6 or 7. I'm feeling a 6 out. Wait. Oh, come on. Man. I'm feeling a 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10 on this one. Even though I could respect of how like the actors were trying and stuff. And actually no, a 7 out of 10, because there's some part, because the good parts were the acting, the villain, the Megazord, the character development, and trying to like, and yeah, that's it. The things that I didn't like were 360 camera angle that make you get a headache, um, ruining the Power Ranger, almost ruining the Power Rangers theme song, Krispy Kreme, and saving the day by a slap. And yes, the day was saved from a slap. And yeah, 7 out of 10. I would give it. Go watch it. Go watch it. Go even pre-order it for Blu-ray. And yeah. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a like. And as always, comment down below and let me know what you want to see next. And as always, if you like what you see and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. And before I leave, I know the Boss Baby came out this weekend, in which I'm not gonna go see it tonight because since I saw Power Rangers last night at midnight and with my whole fam, and yeah, it's like no other movie this weekend, just Power Rangers, and yeah, that's it. And I know this was a late review, and I'm pretty sorry because last weekend I was studying so much for a test I was gonna take on Thursday, and yeah, I saw it late. So yeah, this is BossBoyTheWinKing here. Bye, peace, and deuces.